Did you know your mind is tricking you every single day without you realizing it? Believe it or not, your brain uses shortcuts and cognitive distortions to make sense of the world around you, creating illusions that shape your memories, decisions, and even how you see reality. The craziest part? This all happens automatically, and you barely notice it. In this video, we'll uncover how your mind plays these tricks on you and why it does so. We'll reveal psychological phenomena like confirmation bias, the illusion of control, and even false memories that feel completely real. But don't worry, we'll also teach you how to recognize and overcome these mental traps to live with greater clarity and make better decisions. If you've ever wondered why reality sometimes feels confusing or how to outsmart your brain's tricks, this video is for you. Get ready to dive deep into the inner workings of your mind. Let's begin. The power of cognitive illusions. How your mind creates distorted realities. The human mind is an incredible tool, but it's far from perfect. Every day, it creates cognitive illusions, mental shortcuts or biases that influence how we perceive the world, make decisions, and interpret situations. These illusions act as shortcuts for processing information quickly, but they don't always lead to accurate conclusions. What's even more intriguing, most of the time we don't even realize it's happening. A classic example is optical illusions, where your eyes see one thing, but your brain interprets it differently. This happens because the brain doesn't capture reality exactly as it is. It tries to make sense of it based on familiar patterns. The same principle applies to everyday life. For instance, when you meet someone new, your mind might form instant judgments based on their appearance or your past experiences, distorting your perception of who they really are. Additionally, the brain has a natural tendency to fill in gaps in information, which can lead to hasty conclusions or misunderstandings. Imagine someone replies curtly to your text message. Without knowing the full context, your mind might invent a story like, "They're upset with me," when the actual reason could be as simple as them being busy. These cognitive illusions also impact important decisions like assessing risks. For example, many people fear flying more than driving, even though statistics show that flying is far safer. This happens because the brain amplifies the emotional impact of rare events, like plane crashes, while underestimating the dangers of common activities, like driving in traffic. What's fascinating is that these cognitive illusions aren't flaws in the brain but evolutionary adaptations. They helped our ancestors make quick decisions in life or death situations, like avoiding predators. However, in today's complex world, these shortcuts can sometimes mislead us and even hinder our decision-making. Understanding the power of cognitive illusions is a first step in recognizing how your mind might be distorting reality. These mental tricks affect everything from daily choices to major life decisions. But do they also shape what you believe? In the next segment, we'll explore how confirmation bias makes you see only what you want to see. Confirmation bias. Why you only see what you want to see. Confirmation bias is one of the subtlest and most dangerous mental tricks your mind plays on you. It happens when we seek, interpret, or remember information in a way that confirms what we already believe, while ignoring or rejecting facts that challenge our ideas. It's as if your brain is rooting for your beliefs instead of searching for objective truth. This bias is more common than you might think. Imagine you believe that a specific diet, like the keto diet, is the best for losing weight. Whenever you see someone succeed with that diet, you associate it with the validity of your belief. But if someone doesn't achieve the same results, your mind tends to ignore or justify their failure, thinking they probably didn't follow it properly. Confirmation bias makes you notice only the evidence that reinforces your opinions. A more evident example is found on social media platforms. Algorithms often amplify confirmation bias by showing you content that aligns with your preferences and beliefs. This creates a filter bubble where you're exposed only to similar ideas, reinforcing the illusion that your worldview is the most logical or correct. Confirmation bias also influences decision-making. For instance, an investor might ignore signs that a stock is losing value because their mind is focused on information supporting the idea that it was a good choice. This can lead to poor decisions, as the brain creates a one-sided view of the situation, omitting crucial information. The origins of this bias are rooted in evolution. In primitive times, believing something without questioning could save lives, like assuming a rustling in the bushes meant a predator was nearby. But in today's world, filled with complex and contradictory information. This tendency can mislead us and even divide opinions on important issues. Recognizing confirmation bias is the first step to overcoming it. Asking yourself questions like, am I considering all perspectives? Or actively seeking information that challenges your beliefs can help reduce its impact. After all, while the mind dislikes being proven wrong, sometimes the truth lies outside our comfort zone. But confirmation bias isn't the only way our mind deceives us. Sometimes, we overestimate how much control we truly have, leading to another mental trap: the illusion of control. The illusion of control, when you think you're in charge but you're not. Have you ever felt completely in control of a situation, only to realize later that so many factors were out of your hands? This is the illusion of control, a fascinating mental trick that convinces us we have more influence over events than we actually do. It's comforting to believe we're in charge, but often, this belief is nothing more than a mirage. A classic example of this illusion happens in gambling. When rolling dice, people often throw them harder if they want a high number or softer for a low one, subconsciously believing this will affect the outcome. Of course, dice rolls are entirely random, yet the brain tricks us into thinking we have some power over what happens. This same illusion shows up in everyday situations, like managing a work project. You might feel completely responsible for its success, but external factors, such as market changes or team dynamics, play a huge role in the outcome, regardless of your efforts. Still, your mind clings to the idea that everything depends solely on you. Interestingly, the illusion of control isn't all bad. It can boost confidence, helping us take action even in uncertain scenarios. But it can also lead to frustration and stress when things don't go as planned. Accepting that some factors are beyond our control is often difficult, but it's a vital step toward better decision-making and mental clarity. The origins of this illusion lie in human evolution. Our ancestors benefited from believing they could influence unpredictable forces like weather or hunting outcomes. It motivated them to act proactively. In the modern world, however, this same tendency can mislead us in complex situations, causing us to overestimate our influence. Understanding the illusion of control allows us to separate what's within our power from what isn't. It reduces stress and helps us focus on what truly matters. But while the illusion of control shapes how we act in the present, our memories often deceive us about the past. Up next, we'll explore the fascinating phenomenon of false memories and how they can rewrite your personal history. False memories. How your mind rewrites the past. Do you believe your memories are a perfect record of the past? Think again. The brain doesn't work like a camera, recording events exactly as they happen. Instead, it reconstructs memories each time you access them. And during this process, details can be distorted or entirely fabricated. This phenomenon, known as false memories, occurs far more often than you might realize. A common example of false memories happens in eyewitness testimonies. Studies show that people can confidently recall details that were never present. For instance, a witness might swear they saw a suspect wearing a red shirt when, in reality, no such detail existed. This happens because the brain fills in gaps with assumptions or information learned after the event, making eyewitness accounts less reliable than they seem, even when the person is being completely honest. Emotions also play a significant role in creating false memories. High-stress situations, such as arguments or accidents, often lead to intense but inaccurate recollections. You might vividly remember someone shouting during a heated conversation, only to discover later that it never happened. Your brain added this detail based on the heightened emotional context. Repetition further distorts memories. When you retell a story multiple times, your brain starts to believe the altered or added details are true. Over time, this can create vivid but inaccurate recollections, like an internal game of telephone where the original message gets lost. The science behind false memories is so powerful that it can even be used intentionally. Research has shown that it's possible to implant entirely false memories in people, convincing them they experienced events that never occurred. This has serious implications in fields like forensic psychology and therapy, where distinguishing between real and fabricated memories is critical. Understanding that your memories may not be as accurate as you think encourages self-awareness and critical thinking. It helps us avoid making judgments about ourselves or others based on potentially flawed recollections. But if false memories can form so easily, is it possible to recognize and overcome these mental tricks? Let's explore practical strategies for dealing with these cognitive distortions in our next and final topic: how to spot and overcome mental traps to live with greater clarity. Your mind is a master of illusions. Every day, it creates shortcuts, distortions, and tricks to process the overwhelming amount of information around you. While these mental patterns can help you navigate life, they often lead to inaccurate perceptions and misguided decisions. But here's the good news. By recognizing these traps, you can break free from their influence and see reality with greater clarity. One of the most effective techniques is critical self-review. When making decisions or forming opinions, pause and ask yourself, am I considering all the information, or only what supports what I already believe? This simple exercise helps combat confirmation bias, opening your mind to alternative perspectives and reducing one-sided interpretations. Mindfulness is another powerful tool. Staying present in the moment allows you to notice when your mind reacts automatically or impulsively. For instance, when you feel anxious or angry, mindfulness helps you observe the emotion without acting on distorted thoughts. This breaks the cycle of illusions, such as the illusion of control or jumping to conclusions, and fosters a calmer, more objective mindset. Seeking feedback from others is also invaluable. Sometimes, you're so immersed in your own thinking patterns that you can't see where your mind might be tricking you. Asking for an outside perspective, especially from someone who thinks differently, can highlight distortions and offer a more balanced view. This approach is particularly useful for challenging false memories or recognizing emotional biases. Paying attention to your emotions is key. Intense feelings like fear, anger, or excitement can amplify mental traps, causing you to overestimate or underestimate information. When faced with important decisions, take a moment to separate emotions from facts. Techniques like deep breathing or jotting down your thoughts can help calm your mind and bring objectivity to the forefront. While you can't completely eliminate the mind's tricks, you can learn to navigate them with greater wisdom. By practicing self-awareness, seeking diverse perspectives, and developing emotional clarity, you take charge of how you perceive and respond to the world. And along the way, this journey not only enhances your decisions but also fosters empathy for yourself and those around you. After uncovering the tricks your mind uses to distort reality, it's clear that we're far less rational than we'd like to believe. From cognitive illusions to false memories, our brain works in fascinating and sometimes misleading ways. But here's the good news. By understanding these mechanisms, you can take the first step toward clearer thinking and better decisions. So, what mental trick surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed these phenomena in your daily life? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your experiences. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep exploring the mysteries of the human mind with us. See you in the next video. Until then, stay curious,